Going on a little excursion, and we're in the backcountry here, as you can see. I've never been here before, but there's a guy up ahead of me. His name is Glenn, and he's going to be my tour guide for the day. Rockhopper here, and today I'm taking you to a very interesting piece of Arizona history. At the base of the Apache Maid Mountains between Sedona and Flagstaff, Arizona, is what was once a ranch and homestead. Locals often refer to it as the Apache Maid Cabin or Ranch, but when I researched it, I discovered that it was actually the T-Bar Ranch and Homestead, but I couldn't find much more than that. I made a few phone calls, including one to a BLM archaeologist and another to the Sedona Historical Society. The archaeologist knew little about the old ranch, and the Historical Society never returned my call. The nearby Apache Maid Mountains are apparently named after a young Apache girl, and there are several different variations on the story regarding this. There's some information that points to the ranch possibly being homesteaded by the Marr brothers prior to 1884. Seth Boss Acker may have purchased the ranch in 1884 to supply meat to his butcher business in Flagstaff. The ranch is thought to have changed hands many times since then. This is Glenn, and he's going to take me back to an interesting place. It's supposedly a part of history up in this region. So let's go check it out. Lead the way, Glenn.
All right. The cabin is right over there through the trees.
Coming up toward the cabin here, we'll have a look inside.
I have been told that this is the original Apache Maid Ranch from back in the cowboy and Indian days, I'll say. They started making a ranch up here. Might be before the National Forest even was around.
Okay, so we're probably going back to like the early 1900s, huh? Yeah. Got some old linoleum still in this cabin, as you can see on the floor here. Peeling away, of course, flaking apart. And we're coming into what looks to be maybe the kitchen.
Yeah. There used to be spigots there.
Okay, so they had running water.
Yeah, in the later part.
And there's, looks like there was a wood stove here.
There was. When I first came here 12 or 15 years ago, there was still right here a big steel cast iron type wood stove that exhausted right there. And right in this area, there was a table with a bench seat that came around here.
Yeah.
Like you could sit here with a table right here. Now it's all gone.
This is a pretty spacious cabin. I mean, it's pretty big. Got a room back here even. This might have been a root cellar. Another look at the kitchen here. They really put a lot of effort into creating this cabin. You can see the stonework there, and then the wood up above it. The wood that was used to build this cabin was probably milled somewhere at a sawmill around here. You can see what was once the fireplace. You got to think about what was life like way back when they're sitting around in their chairs and sitting by the fire and just, you know, at the end of the day, just kind of enjoying their relaxing, peaceful time after probably a really hard day of work. This was the view out their window. Probably were a lot of cattle out there back in the day, grazing out in that meadow. If you look closely right in here, you'll see that they used concrete for chinking. It's quite a large cabin. As you can see, it extends way over to the right there. As you can see, there's wiring inside here. Now this looks like it might have been from somewhere around the late 1930s. So I'm wondering, you know, they didn't have any kind of power company out here or anything like that. So they must have had generators perhaps, or something to get that electricity flowing. There are a couple of showers in this place, and so they definitely had running water, and they had sewer apparently, as you can see by that pipe right there. If you look through the trees back up on that hill, that's where the water tank is, and the water was probably drawn up from the ground with a windmill. Looks like a little wood bin right here. Here's a look at the other shower, and if you come around here you can see they might have had a sink here. Looking at that, and you can see the water line there, and had a toilet down there, and looks like another sort of water line for something here. Looking overhead, you can see it looks like they use young pine logs as part of the trusses that they harvested themselves and then cleaned up and utilized. They had nice tongue and groove wood floors. This is an interesting little cabin. I think this is where the ranch hands might have stayed. Nice stone chimney there. We'll go inside and have a look around.
And this looks like it's homemade. I mean, look at this. There's a spot weld right there. Just flat metal, like this right here, flat metal.
Right. So there was a door right here?
Yeah, this had a big steel panel door right here.
Oh, okay.
To begin with. When I first came here, it was still there.
That's a pretty good little fireplace, I have to say. Not bad. This is a pretty cool little cabin. Obviously, a lot of people have been here. They've left their names up on the wall from all these years.
All this graffiti wasn't here before. And when I first came also, there were still some of these wire mat, like you put a mattress, or you know, the gray striped mattresses. But there were still a couple of the steel frames here, right here, like here. Not necessarily all of them, but there were still a couple that were here. When I first came here, there was still some little springy wire
right in
frame
here.
things. They were going this way.
Okay. Well, let's have a look back in this room, see what's in
This is
here.
where the bathroom was.
Back in here?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you must have had a toilet just right down there.
Yep.
And,
right here probably was a sink and a drain.
oh yeah, right there. Now what is, not sure what that's about, little piece of wire.
You can see they had a light.
Oh yeah. So yeah, not a bad little cabin. It's kind of fallen down now, as you can see, but
And I think right here too, this is what I was looking at in the house where the kitchen was. You can see that there was something cut here, and something went through the roof right there. See how this is done?
oh yeah.
But now they've got another piece over top of it. But there used to be something. Look, see how the wood's cut right here too?
Oh yeah. Right there.
They had something right here that had a pipe going up through the roof.
And I'm looking at some piping down here.
Yep. It had one of these flat kind just mounted on the surface, you know, with a latch that went right into that. And it was, the door was still there, and the knob handle thing was still there when I came here many, many years ago.
Well, this is all that's left of the door now. You can see the hinge right there, and that's just one slat of a door is all that's left. Cabin's kind of fallen down there, as you can see. The winds of time are taking their toll. Surrounding what we think was the ranch hand cabin, you can see apple trees. There's a little apple right there. And you just look around here. So they probably, we speculate, grew a lot of their fruit and probably raised vegetables as well out here. We think it's likely that not only did they raise cattle out here, but they probably grew some vegetables and, who knows, maybe even a little bit of wheat. It's likely that they canned most of their vegetables. Got some frogs here. It looks like a place where there is water for cows, and maybe that was one of the reasons they ended up ranching this area. What are we looking at here? This was, you think this was the first dwelling back in there?
Looking through this doorway would have went into the first structure that they made for shelter up against the hill here. It has since all collapsed.
Yeah, so they probably lived in here for maybe a year or so, and then they built the rest of this, you think? Some stone right there?
That's not what this is. This right here was part of the front where the entry door was of the original shelter that they made, and it went back into the hillside here. Then they added on more.
So they added on the rest of the house after that.
This made another outside wall, but you can definitely tell this right here would have been back this direction when they first had a dwelling here. This stone wall would have been the front of it. Then they sort of added this other stuff. See how this roof is all the way into this? Then they kind of enlarged it, looks like to me. They made it bigger over here.
Well, that's what we think anyway, right?
Yeah, the old wall had stone, evidently, because I see stone here and wood. Even back here you can see wood. And see the logs over there? See those? And some of those were the original log walls that held the dirt back. You can still see some of them in the dirt. That was the side of the building there.
Buildings like this, while they may look old and beaten up, are a unique and irreplaceable piece of history. That this old structure still remains at all is something of a wonder in itself. It's best to have respect when exploring such structures and leave things as you found them, so that others who come later may also enjoy them as you did. If anyone knows the history of this ranch and homestead, please let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed exploring the historic Apache Maid cabin. Don't forget to give me a like in the video, share, and subscribe. Until next time, this is the Rockhopper. I'll see ya.